This is Languages, and we have a guest on this channel today. Waiting for him, a distinguished guest, a professor. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me, Professor? Can you unmute, please? Can you unmute yourself? Can you hear me now, sir? Can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself? I can see that you are. Sorry. Well, this is Languages, and we have a special guest, Professor Rotimi Omotoye, a Venerable of the Anglican Communion, Church of Nigeria. I warmly welcome you, Professor.
Thank you, ma'am.
You are a distinguished scholar in the fields of church history and interreligious relations. And I deeply admire your research, particularly in church history and interreligious relations.
Thank you, ma'am.
You are currently serving as the Director of General Studies and Coordinator of the Memorandum of Understanding between the University of Georgia, Athens, and the University of Ilorin. Professor Omotoye holds a tenured position at the Department of Religious, University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Additionally, he serves as the Chronicler for the Church of Nigeria and as his secretary for the Committee of Artefacts, Monuments, and Archives. Venerable Professor Omotoye is a celebrated scholar, and I attest to this. He is my own personal professor, so I know he's a celebrated scholar and an esteemed lecturer who has guided numerous doctoral degree holders and students. I acknowledge and appreciate Professor Omotoye's expertise and the valuable insights he brings to this discussion today. Today, Professor Omotoye joins us to share the knowledge and experiences that have shaped him. And what I mean is that this channel serves as an academy for the knowledge economy, offering valuable insights into religion, theology, spiritual formation, and life lessons. I sincerely thank you, Professor, for dedicating your time to be part of this channel today, recognizing the demands on your schedule and expressing my gratitude for your willingness to share your expertise with our guidance. And I know as we will be concluding, you will all love to hear Professor Omotoye, and I only want to appeal that and encourage the audience to please share this enriching conversation we are going to have today on social media platforms, helping us spread the word about this exciting collaboration and potentially reaching a broader audience. I'm going to start with this, and I will keep quiet. I know that in November 2023, you attended a conference organized by the African Studies Institute at the University of Georgia, Athens, UGA. And maybe you want to start with the experience you garner there, or you want to go straight to your topic or what you want to tell us today. So.
Thank you, ma. Let me first and foremost appreciate you for the opportunity you have granted unto me to be here. I'm at the University of Georgia in Athens presently. Actually, I was invited to attend the meeting, the conference, because I'm the coordinator of the relationship between University of Ilorin and University of Georgia in Athens. So we started the conference last Wednesday. It ended successfully yesterday. The conference was the 8th Biennial Conference of African Studies Institute of the University of Georgia. So I'm happy to be here. Let me once again appreciate Dr. Suboijo, who is an international scholar of religion. Precisely, it's in the area of philosophy of religion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, what do you want to share with us today, sir?
Thank you, ma'am. I'm a student of religion, and specifically, I'm the area of church history, as it was mentioned by the anchor of the program. I'm the director of general studies at the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. So as a student of church history, since I have a limited time, I published an article in one of the books edited by Samuel Ojo, Olorun Toba, titled Africa and its Diaspora, History, Identities, and Economy. Let me say it once again. The title of the book, Africa and its Diaspora, History, Identities, and Economy, edited by Samuel Ojo, Olorun Toba. This is in conjunction with Professor Toyin Falola, a well-known all over the world, because I usually attend Toyin Falola conference at the University of Austin in Texas. So it holds every March of every year. So it was there that I presented a paper some years ago, and that paper is titled Religion and Service to Humanity. That's the title of the paper which I want to share with you. I have numerous papers at local, national, and international. But I decided to look at the one published by the book which I have just mentioned. So the question is, why? As a person, well, it's good to be rich, it's good to have this and have that, but I think personally is the contribution you can make to your environment. What Dr. Suboijo is doing today is our contribution to the community. It's our contribution to the society. It's our contribution to the nation. So how do we now encourage people so that people will not be too keenly interested in accumulating money? Looking for money, you want to buy 10 cars, you want to build 20 houses. I'm not saying it's not good, but as an individual, how do we remember you in future? Whether we like it or not, maybe 120 years old, 100, 80, 90. But the most important thing, how do we remember you? So as a scholar of religion, as a scholar of church history, I'm always interested in personalities and what we can learn from them. The conference which ended yesterday at the University of Georgia, I focused on Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. His legacy is still an issue we are discovering all over the world. But now for tonight, I'm looking at Bishop Charles Phillips. Bishop Charles Phillips. He was a son of an ex-slave. He was born in Sierra Leone. If you are a student of history, you will recollect that after the abolition of slavery in 1807, the ex-slaves were brought to Sierra Leone. So it was there that his father gave birth to him. When Christianity started in Nigeria, precisely on the 24th of September, 1842, the first white person that came to Badagry in Nigeria was Thomas Batch Freeman of the Methodist Church. On the 17th of December, 1842, Henry Townsend was in Badagry. He was of the Church Missionary Society. So he met Thomas Batch Freeman in Badagry. On the 24th of December, in Christian world, which we call Christmas Eve, the two missionaries and their converts celebrated the first Christmas Eve together in Badagry under a tree called Ajia tree in Badagry. In fact, the Church of Nigeria, in which I am the chronicler, or what some people will call church historian, we are in Badagry to celebrate 188th year of the introduction of Christianity to Badagry. So, Bishop Charles Phillips was sent to Ondo because Christianity got to Ondo. Ondo is in what we call Ondo State of Nigeria today. So when Henry Townsend left Badagry, he went to Abeokuta. Abeokuta is the capital of Ogun State today. In fact, Biobaku will say that Abeokuta was the sunrise within the tropics. The different missions were in Abeokuta. It was from there they sent out missionaries to different parts of Yoruba land, in particular, what you call the Yoruba mission. In 1851, the Fitindra, another white man, was sent to Ibadan. Olubi was sent to Ilesha in 1856. But this man I'm talking about, Charles Phillips, was sent to Ondo in 1877. Between 1875 and 1877, some of the ex-slaves were already in Ondo propagating the gospel unofficially. But in 1877, this man of God was in Ondo. So it was a virgin land. He was able to lead successfully, propagating the gospel from one place to the other. He became the superintendent, that is the head, the supervisor of Christianity in Ondo, in Ilesha, which is in Osun State today, in Ile-Ife, which is part of Osun State today. And again, it is also necessary to mention, Ile-Ife in Yoruba history is regarded as the origin of the Yoruba people. So he was also in charge up to Okegbo, up to Ile-Oluji. So why am I interested in this man of God? As I did mention to you, it is not enough to propagate theories. It is not enough to say you are a man of God. It is not enough to say that you are a Christian without impacting the society, without impacting your community, without facing some challenges, whether you like it or not. Charles Phillips was one of the church leaders I admire as a church historian because of the impact which he made on the church. Peel, a sociologist, referred to him as a catalyst of social change. Anytime I look at that quotation, catalyst of social change, I always ask myself, in 50, 80, 90 years' time, what will people say about me? In what way will people say that Rotimi Omotoye became a professor of church history? He served as a lecturer at the University of Ilorin. Did he make any impact on the society? Did he make any impact on the church? So that is the area of my interest. So Bishop Charles Phillips was in Ondo. He faced a lot of challenges in the propagation of Christianity. You have to note that the African traditional religion was in place, and Dr. Awolalu defined African traditional religion as the religion of our forefathers, transmitted from generation onto generation. So for Christians to come and propagate their religion, it was a task before them. Some of them were molested. Some of the early Christians were intimidated. But this man of God, Charles Phillips, was undaunted. He remained focused. So that is why up to today, it's regarded as a catalyst of social change. If you go to the National Archives in Ibadan, all his records, let me also mention that I am the secretary of Artefacts Monuments in the Church of Nigeria. In fact, there was a convocation which we had some months ago with all rectors of the 9 theological colleges in Nigeria, that they should incorporate, they should start teaching what we call record keeping in all theological colleges. So that it is very important as students of history that you keep your daily record for posterity's sake. Charles Phillips kept everyday record from 1877 when he got to Ondo up to 1906. So I want every person to note that. You may not be a church historian, but as somebody in academics, as an individual, there's a need to keep records of our daily activities, especially in the church, for posterity. So this man kept the record so that you can see what transpired in the church between 1877 to 1906. So when he got to Ondo, we have limited time, he discovered that the church was poor. Those who were the early converts, they needed the economic power. They needed the political power. They needed the social power. What did they do? If you are familiar with the terrain, with the geography of Yoruba land in Nigeria, if you move from Ile-Ife to Okegbo, to Ile-Elujis, then to Ondo, you see there's a village which we call Ajebandele up to today. This man, to me, was a prophet, a visionary, an encourager. He encouraged the early Christians to go to villages and start planting cocoa, to plant rice. I'm aware of one person who wrote his Ph.D. thesis on rice plantation in Ondo, J.J. Barry. So he encouraged them. In fact, he went to Lagos, what you call Lagos today. If you know the area we call Agege, you know the area we call Iju. These were areas where cocoa plantation, where cocoa trees were planted, and people were making money, especially the African church. This man, Charles Phillips, brought cocoa seedling all the way from Lagos to Ondo farmers. To me, what he has done has become part of history. Within a few years, the early church members became rich. They had what we call money because he encouraged them. You see, today in our churches, the issue of money, finance is a problem because many people are not having the economic power. So it is left for the leaders to be futuristic, to have the vision. How do I improve the economy of my church? How do I improve the economy of people whom I'm directing? Apart from that, the first Christian that died was called Nasin. That was the first Christian to be buried in a Christian way in Ondo. The church leader brought a coffin all the way from Lagos to Ondo. It was new to the people. It was new. Of course, Ondo, they accused the family, in Yoruba tradition, when your father is dead, it's the children that are expected to buy the coffin. But in order to honor the family of Nasin because of the sacrifice he made, the church provided a new coffin to honor the dead. People misinterpreted it that, well, in Yoruba tradition, the children were expected to provide. But the church did that to honor the dead. The first school, if you are familiar with terrain Ondo, we have what we call Okealuko, St. Stephen's Anglican Church, which is a cathedral of the church today, was started by this man. And in terms of education, you cannot take away education from the church.
Right.
He started what we call St. Stephen's Primary School in Ondo. So many educated people in that area went to that school. In fact, when you talk of town planning, he was deeply involved in every plan. What the town planning people are doing today was started by Charles Phillips. He was not only interested in church affairs, he was involved in political situation in the community, he was involved in social life, he was involved in economic life, he was involved in ensuring that things were going well. Let me mention one particular thing. I was at a conference in Ile-Ife about 2 months ago. You know, Ile-Ife is regarded as the cradle of the Yoruba people. So when Christianity got there, Charles Phillips was able to encourage the people of Ile-Ife and Modakeke to live in peace. You are familiar with the history of the two communities. There was always political misunderstanding. All the way from Ondo, this man will come and settle misunderstanding. What are we saying? Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He was able to demonstrate that in settling misunderstanding. We are human beings, two communities, many communities, especially in developing countries. I'm a church historian, especially in Nigeria. You see one community and the other fighting on land, on this, on that. But he was able to use his position to ensure that peace was maintained between the Modakeke and Ile-Ife people. Well, let me stop here now because of time. So let me know if the...
Oh, nicely. Prof, I can see you are really, really a church historian. I'm blessed, and I'm sure our audience is going to be blessed. You asked some pertinent questions, which I just like to throw to the audience, and you can send your comment in the description link or send me an email. And if you want to interact more with Professor Omotoye, let me know. Through my mail or the description link, I will link you with Professor Omotoye to teach you more and know more about it. Honestly, I am very blessed because what you have said is very, very interesting. It's very germane. It's very apt. You spoke and asked questions. What contribution do you make as a person or individual to the environment, to community, society, or the nation? You ask again, how do we remember you in the future? That whatever we do today, we should always remember there is tomorrow. So how do you want to be remembered after you are gone? You mentioned about Bishop Ajayi Crowther, and then specifically, you expatiated and shared with us your love of Bishop Charles Phillips' work, what he did. In Ondo, Ondo is most of the places mentioned are in southwestern states in Nigeria, in Africa. For those who are not Africans, because this China is geopolitical spread globally, so the way Ondo is in the southwest of Nigeria, which is in Africa. You said it's not enough for us to just propagate Christianity or preaching sermons or doing things, but what impact as an individual do you make to the church? Because this Charles Phillips, you said, according to what somebody wrote, that is a catalyst of social change. And then you really, really advise everyone to keep records of activities. That is so important for us to keep our daily activities, because in future, that's what somebody as an historian will go back to and then be looking at. You said Charles Phillips was a prophet, was an encourager, was a motivator. was a Christian spiritual evangelist. So how do I or you or others improve people's life? That is the thing you are living with us. So I want to thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us. I am blessed, and I know a lot of people are blessed. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to reach out to you. Honestly, they want to learn more. And I hope you will be available.
Thank you, man. I want to assure you, and let me thank Dr. Soboejo. He got a Ph.D. at Ajayi Crowther University in Oyo. She was a lecturer at Graduate Theological Seminary in Abeokuta. That was the first place where I met her. She is a very dedicated woman, a committed Christian, and a reliable person. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity you have given unto me to be heard.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.